Hello, this video is for anyone who is curious what empath energetics looks like on the back end. So this is the site that you would recognize. This is Heart's Frontier and Energetics for Empaths. This is, what we would call the sale page. This is how you sort of get a look at what we are doing. And there's testimonials on here and all that kind of thing. But if we click up here, resume course, so that's how you would get in. You can log in. So as soon as you would sign up for the course, you would be logged in, and this is always available to you. So welcome to Empath Energetics. This is the welcome and overview section. So I've gone through a few different styles of hair and location, definitely throughout the course of this program. But it's really not reasonable to film it all in one space since it's been going on for, months, almost a year actually now. So welcome and overview. We have this welcome letter. These are things that you can view very easily and download. I provide a lot of things as downloadables so that you have access to them as well. And I just trust that no one is sharing it around. So we go into what's an empath, and then we have empath energetics agreements. So I just thought I would go through some of these. So for you to commit to empath energetics, you need to commit to yourself. You need to focus on finding inner resolve and peace wherever possible. This is something we are practicing. This is not something that anyone can call you out for, or kick you out for. This is something that we agree to. We agree and make this commitment internally. We commit to emotional and spiritual attention and growth. So just not ignoring the emotional and spiritual side of our life. We commit to bettering the world around us. And this is because most empaths want a better world. And so if you are not doing it, you're actually doing yourself a disservice, and it causes you some harm long term if you're not acting on this deep, deep need. And then commit to connecting with this program. So some people book times in their schedule to separately work on the work that comes in. And some people just say, you know what, I'm going to integrate this into my life. It's got to be integrated anyway at some point. And then, of course, making sure you have time for the calls if possible. Now, something I will mention is as this program has grown, I have developed open office hours on Saturdays, so I can change when those are to make it, convenient for people. I could add more open office hours, and this is sort of like a catch-all for when you're not able to show up to one of the meetings or one of the teaching sessions, the group healing sessions, and you still want some one-on-one time. So I offer that as sort of a bonus, as an offering, really just to make sure everyone's getting the support they need. I don't want anyone feeling like they're being left behind. And as I expand how many people go into this course, I certainly don't want any of that changing. I feel I have the capacity for at least 10 people in this round continuing. So from whenever you're watching this, that is going to maybe be out of date by the time this, plays out. But I really would like at least 10 people in this next round. And that's because I've trained and figured out over the last few that I can handle 5 very comfortably. So I know what that would look like to handle 10. This is Empath Energetics Agreements. We would go through all of this as well during the course. And then there's the group Zoom call and then my contact info. So you can then book your one-on-one sessions. So every month, every phase, you get to work with me for 1 hour one-on-one. And I always ask people to leave extra time because I do like a little bit of spaciousness. An extra 15 minutes at the end of our session helps me make sure that I'm not being too therapizing and saying, okay, your minute's up. And, and that's a stereotype. That's not always true. There are many therapists who handle that a lot more cleanly than they show in the movies. So there's a empath energetics setup and welcome session. There's dark archetypes and shadow exploration, talking about triggers. Talk about light and empowerment readings. This is like what you'd really like to do and where you're going in life and, what I can support you in manifesting. And then your heroic legacy and skill building. And these one-on-one sessions follow the 4-month process or the 4-phase process of empath energetics. So phase 1 is manifestation and actualization. You can see a bunch of things in here. Also, I will mention everybody who takes Empath Energetics gets access to the Power of the Pendulum course that I have. And so that Pendulum Power course really can guide you through a lot more and you can get through it faster even than how I end up dictating during empath energetics. But all empath energetics folks do chakra pendulum readings. They do yes/no questions. They learn how to ask the right questions. They learn about manifestation, actualization. They learn about Maslow's hierarchy, as you can see here. We talk about emotional frequency. There's really a lot. And, for a lot of these, there's a video of me, and then there's me talking to you, and it's fairly brief. Let's see how long this one is. 11 minutes. So yeah, they're often somewhere around 10 minutes or less. And then we go down to empath triggers and troubleshooting. So this is actually based on what other people have said. And there's going to be way more in here by the time you take this course, because currently the people who are going through this program have not gotten their updates. So there's actually going to be more empath triggers and troubleshooting in this list. And this is really for, oh my gosh, I need help. I don't know what to do with this situation. Go to it. And so what I do is ask people, what are you drawn to? What do you need to, if narcissist is something that comes up for you in life, then go click that one and see, if you have any questions. And that's what we end up talking about in the group healing sessions, is some of the content that's here. So you're always being guided along. And I'm always open to expanding my thoughts on things, or deepening or understanding more questions, because not every one of these wraps it all up into a neat little bow, but it does give a good perspective to be able to process or handle that trigger a little bit easier. Then we go on to separating your energy from others. So this is sort of in shadow work moving into light work, because you do need to separate from others in order to do your own self work. And so it's a few different techniques for that. I love the orbit exercise. So, let me know if you're curious about what that looks like. I can always talk you through it. I'll mention now too, if anybody has been thinking about doing, or, you've been thinking about doing empath energetics, but it feels a bit overwhelming. You're not sure if it's the right thing for you currently where you're at in your journey. Please feel free to book a 15-minute with me. I have free 15-minute calls, and I'm also really friendly in DMs and things to talk about this because I recognize it's a big decision. It's not a big investment, but it is a big investment of time. So it is really, when you look at it. And so then we have empath shadow work. This is month 2. So empath shadow work really does cover separating energy from others and, triggers and things. And then we have stages of the healing process. Very exciting. So that'll be available August 15th. They can't see these yet. But I will be talking about different stages of the healing process. And this will be the first time. I'm currently in empath energetics round 3. This will be the first time that I actually introduce it with more depth, this healing process, as we also talk about tapping into your empathic superpowers. So this is about mediumship, clairvoyancy, understanding claircognizance, understanding a lot of the different psychic clair skills, beginning to journey, and also using healing frequencies. So there are a lot of things in there. And I'm sure there will be more as more people join over time, because I tend to build this program and build this curriculum based on what people actually need. It's much more beneficial for the later rounds to get what this round needs, and so it's just grown organically like that. I'm so proud of this program, so proud of the participants who have been through it so far, and the ones currently in it as well. So then we have building your heroic legacy. Now this is actually, it's in the works. It's going to be a workbook. So this is actually going to be more of a journaling book that you can take and write out. Right now it exists as an online quiz form where you write in your answers, which works totally fine. There's many questions. I would say over 30 questions on this Build Your Legacy quiz, or workbook. And creating your heroic legacy is really about what type of impact you want to have on the world around you. So after you've collected your own energy, you've returned to yourself, and you've figured out what you're about, you figured out strengths and weaknesses, lights and shadows, what are you going to do with all that? Because I do find that's part of integrating and part of celebrating what you've found, what you've discovered, and sharing with the world. Then we also have integrating healing. So, I talk about integration being, how do we get into the body? How do we do this faster? And how do we bring these messages down into our body and actually feel like they landed, rather than them just being information? It's very easy to keep healing stuck in the head, and we can just get on a loop where we think we've solved it, but we don't feel we've solved it. Integrating healing resolves that concern. So I talk about chakra pendulum and breath catching, which is a very specific tool, as well as aromatherapy for rewiring, improving the mind with scent. So that's all from my aromatherapist background, and a yin video. And I probably will be adding more to integrating healing as well, as I begin to understand what people are really calling for and what they really need. And we have so much bonus material here. There is lots of stuff from, past programs I've done, and also just what I thought was relevant to the groups. And our garlic bulb meditation, one of my favorite meditations. So this should be, yeah, this was when I was at the alpaca farm. I can always tell where I was when I look at these videos. So this is a look at the program, and then honing sensitivity is at the end. I am going to kind of add that in as an extra bonus. It's sort of something that's in the works, but now you can get a real look at how much is in here truly, and also the flow of it and how it feels. So this, I just wanted to show you what the back end of this looks like, and you can check out my other videos to learn more about empaths, what this program looks like. Again, to see if you're a right fit, please feel free to book a 15-minute chat. Would be happy to, to talk to you and see whether this works for you. If there's any way that I can support you on your journey, I'd like to do so. And if not, I'll help you with getting to the right place that you need. Okay, so I guess that's everything. Let me know if you have any questions about this program, and hope to chat to you soon.